Hey everybody, how you doing? Bear with me, I'm gonna go ahead and share this real quick. As soon as it pops up, there we go. Copy, copy, copy. Wow, something new tonight. I saw this actually online the other day and I decided I wanted to give it a shot. It looks like kind of fun. So I'm going to, let me turn this down, otherwise we're going to get a really nasty echo. There we go. I'll try to keep an eye on my computer so I can see any questions or anything that pop up, because I can't see them on my phone. All right, here we go. Joey, out, 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 out. All right, so is it a snack or is it dinner? Good question. You can be the judge because sometimes it's either or. And this, I saw this recipe, I saw somebody do it online and I'm like, that's pretty ingenious. This could totally be an appetizer, or it could be dinner, it could be lunch. No matter how you want to choose to do it, it's so versatile, so easy to do. So all it is meatballs, crescent roll sheet, marinara, which if you guys watched the video the other night, I didn't have any pizza sauce, so I made some pizza sauce really quick with our Flex Plus. I got some vegan mozzarella and some vegan Parmesan. That's it. So easy. Well, wooden skewers. If you got some wooden skewers, you're gonna need wooden skewers. I've soaked mine since last night, so I've been soaking about 24 hours. That way they're less likely to burn once I get them in the oven and I bake these. So this is gonna be really, really cool. I've already heated up my meatballs just slightly, just enough. They are frozen meatballs. These are plant-based. And I just heated them up, put them on a cookie sheet for 350 for about, 5-7 minutes. Just enough to heat them up to get them soft enough that I can push a skewer through without breaking the skewer or poking my finger. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our dough and we're gonna open that up, if I can get it all to peel. And we're gonna cut it in strips. You're gonna cut it lengthwise because you're gonna be zigzagging this all through the dough. Ah, there it goes. Alrighty. Makes me jump every time. So let's go ahead and roll this out. And there we go. Keep it as straight as possible. Now, I have no idea, like I said, I'm doing this first time with you guys, so bear with me. I'm gonna take my pizza and crust cutter, and I'm gonna cut strips about 1 inch wide. You don't need much more than that because the meatballs are kind of narrow, they're kind of small. So, and if we have extra, you can season them up and twist them and have bread twists, right? They're always good for dipping in garlic or marinara or garlic sauce or whatever you like. A cool little snack. All right, so that went a little wide. So I have a little strip, a little rope there. I'm gonna peel off the side. All right, so we're gonna take our skewer. I'm gonna fold one up on one end just a little bit, just to double it. And I'm gonna put my skewer right through the middle. Actually, I'm gonna come this way. Put my skewer right through. And then I'm gonna add a meatball. And then I'm gonna wrap my dough back around to make it come right around it. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room. I don't wanna smash them too much. I'm gonna try to bend this down. Don't anybody get seasick on me here. I'm gonna bend this down so you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. So I've just wrapped the dough right back around over top of it. I'm gonna put another meatball on there. And I'm gonna push the skewer right through. Push it down a little bit. That dough right through. Again, I'm not smashing it really, really tight. I don't wanna mash that dough too bad. Push it back down. And you can do these if you wanted to. You could do these in shorter. You could do them just a couple at a time and like little cocktail picks. You could actually take a section of dough, wrap it around the meatball and put a toothpick in it and bake it that way. Say little dippers, you know. You could take some of your dough and instead cut it in squares. Put it inside your mini muffin pan. A little bit of marinara, a little bit of cheese, and put your meatball in, and boom, you got another appetizer. I think I'm just gonna do one more on this one. I'm gonna slide it down. I mean, this would be perfect once it's baked. You could slide this right off the skewer right into a roll. Oops, I said too far, too far. And be perfect for a sub. Okay, another one. I'm just gonna load them. It's just me and Arnie here, so we're just gonna load it up. I've got a little dough left over. That's quite all right. I'm gonna peel this back around. And there. So I've got one of them already done, one skewer done. I'll put that right on my baking sheet. And I've got parchment paper on my baking sheet, so I don't have to use any oil or anything like that. We're gonna take another skewer, knock some of the water off, fold our dough over. Nice right through. Start with our meatball. And we're gonna take that up and over. Put down just enough room for another meatball. And oops, too far. There we go. And just alternate. Like I said, if you didn't want to do that many on one, you could certainly stop at 2 or 3, and that would be fine. Especially if you're going to serve these as an appetizer. If you're going to serve them as a meal, do more. I'm going to spread those out just a tad. I'm going to squish. And there we go. Now if you want to, you could take that and you could pinch that dough closed right there. Push your meatball down. Push that dough together and it would completely go all the way around your last meatball. There you go. There's that one. A little less on that one. But the other thing that you could do is you could take, I'm gonna take this little scrap right here. I'm gonna take it. We're gonna wrap it all the way around the meatball. And then you can skewer. Do the same thing with another one. Smaller piece of dough. And if you do it this way, they're gonna come off individually. So give yourself a little extra space. So instead of zigzagging all the way through your dough, you're just gonna do individuals. And as that dough rises and cooks, it'll fill in some of that gap. Make sure you skewer through both pieces of your dough so that both ends skewer through both of them. There you go. And when these are done, you can just slide them right off your skewer onto a plate, a serving platter, and you've got a really easy, inexpensive hors d'oeuvre. Let's face it, you want to do homemade meatballs? Do homemade meatballs. You can literally do this 9 ways to Sunday. There's so many things that you can do with it. Okay, stretch that one around. We're going to do another one just like that. Because then, put them as a sandwich. Cut this one. Wrap that around. This would be a good one for the kids to do New Year's Eve. Serious, they would have a blast. Wrapping the dough and just skewering it, doing different shapes, crisscross, ribbons, all kinds of things. I'm gonna cut another piece of dough, wrap it around that one. Make sure I overlap the ends and skewer both ends. I got that one a little crooked. There we go. Hey, I'm not perfect. Pampered, not perfect, right? All right, one more on that one. Then I'm gonna try another thing. We're experimenting here tonight. You guys are along for the ride. Totally. All right, there we go. So there's that one. All right. These modular sheet pans are amazing. They're perfect size. Out of the way. Now, something else I want to try. I'm going to start with folding my dough over on one end, just like I did before. And I'm going to load up several meatballs. Scoop that right down. Now, instead of wrapping them and securing them in between, I'm going to just spiral. So we're going to spiral that all the way around the meatballs. Get in between, that's fine. That's fine. Then we're going to come back down the other way. And stretch your dough a little bit. So it's like a little mini braid. Just wrap and bake it just like that. So there's so many different things that you can do. Let's try that one again. That one's fun. Okay, so we have our dough. Skewer the end. Do our little veggie meatballs. I don't know if I have enough to do. This is long enough to do 6. Or 5, I mean. It helps if I can count. Deb, you're not helping me count. I think Debbie's on here. All right, so again, we're gonna start wrapping that around a little bit. Try to wrap it around the top and then bring it back down, back around. Oh, look at that, I did have enough. Go figure. I'm just gonna pinch those 2 pieces together. And there we go. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven. I have dough left over. I think I'm gonna twist. We're gonna make just a little twist here. A little twisty breadstick, why not, right? Can't hurt. Can never go wrong with crescent roll dough. All right, so we're gonna pop these in the oven at 350 and just until they're brown enough to your liking. Because remember, your meatballs are already completely cooked. I'm gonna top each of these with a little bit of mozzarella. This is vegan, so that's gonna be a little bit of a mess on my cookie sheet. Thank goodness for parchment paper. Then when they come out, I'm gonna sprinkle them with just a little bit of vegan Parmesan. Here. All right, so in they go. So it's probably going to be about 15 minutes. Timer. All right, there we go. So 15 minutes. And then when they come out, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of fresh grated vegan parm. And then we'll have our dipping sauce. One of the things that I like homemade sauce. There's a couple of jarred sauces. I'm sorry, moving again so you guys don't get seasick. There's a couple of jarred sauces that I really like, but most of them contain oil. And we do try to keep away from oil as much as possible. Now the crescent roll dough's got fat in it. It's got butter and oil and all those kind of things. So if I can keep it down in other places, I'll do that. So that's my little splurge. I'm gonna take, if I can, something like fresh tomatoes, or if I have canned tomatoes, the fire roasted, I really am partial to fire roasted tomatoes. So I'll use fire roasted, just like I did the other day. I put 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes. I put some Italian seasoning, some garlic, some onion powder, and I blitzed this using the Flex Plus and made a really nice thick pizza sauce. So hey, gotta use it up, right? So why not use it for a dipping sauce for our skewers? So I'm gonna put that in a little bowl. And I love that the Flex Plus has so many options. You have the food processor attachment, You've got the hand mixer attachment. You've got the immersion blender attachment, and it's all completely cordless. So, and it comes with this great little container. So under the lid, you pop the lid on, it's nice and tight. So you can take your container and right in the fridge it goes. Easy peasy. But there's literally so many things that you can do. I don't have to be tied to the counter over here. This one I don't have any electric. I can bring it over here. And I put the mixer part through its paces. You guys know me, you know I make cakes and I make frosting. And I actually made a double cake mix in the same bowl all at once and never bogged it down. I did my buttercream icing that I use on my cakes. It plowed right through it just beautifully. It's got plenty of power. It comes with 2 batteries plus your battery charger, and you can't go wrong. You absolutely cannot go wrong. It's perfect for camping. Hey, when we go camping, I don't typically rough it. Whatever I would cook at home is what I'm cooking when we camp. I just may be over an open fire. Bad weather, I may actually cook inside the motorhome, you know, but either way, I'm cooking good food. I'm not going to just live on burgers and chips and chips and hot dogs and things like that. We don't do that anymore. So it's all about, you know, staying healthy the whole time we're enjoying our camping experience, and it can be done. So I'll do absolutely everything I can over an open fire, but it's going to be the same kind of food that I would normally cook at home. These already smell good. I wish you had smell-o-vision because totally it's worth it. Anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to do for tonight is I'm going to make those, and we're going to have our little dipping sauce, and I think that's going to be it, and I think I'm going to call it dinner. Just as the 2 of us is perfect. Just a few meatball skewers. You can pop them on subs. You can put, like I said, you can do smaller versions, just do a single meatball and a little bit of the dough on a toothpick. Bake it up. Make sure you soak your toothpicks. Toothpicks especially because they are so small. If you're going to use a toothpick, if you want to put it in there to hold the dough on, that's fine. If not, put them in a little mini muffin tin so that you don't have to worry about that. Put the seam side down, and then when they're done, just dump them out and then put your picks in and serve it just like they are. Easy peasy. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Show me what you guys can do with this, okay? We'll see you guys later. Bye.